Well, folks, it has been quite a while, but it's a pleasure to be back. It's the Formula One Gran Premio Coca-Cola de Argentina of 2022. We return to Argentina for round 6 of the Formula One Fantasy World Championship. My name is, of course, George Morgan, and we are racing at the Tomás de Rio Hondo Santiago circuit. As you can see, 4.805 kilometers. That is just over 2.9 miles. A race lap record held by Sergio Perez earlier on in 2022, with an elevation of 3 meters and 14 turns. A mixture of high speed and low speed corners is going to be a true test for every single driver. Let's take a look at the starting grid for this race. Kevin Magnussen with a penalty lines up alongside Lando Norris, also with a penalty. Nicholas Latifi also penalised with Lance Stroll in 17th. 16th place goes to Sebastian Vettel with Alex Albon alongside him in 15th. Then in 14th is Pierre Gasly for AlphaTauri with Guan Yu Zhou alongside him in 13th place. 12th place for Mick Schumacher alongside that of Daniel Ricciardo in 11th. P10, well, that goes to Yuki Tsunoda alongside Fernando Alonso, who starts in 9th place. 8th spot goes to Valtteri Bottas, who now lines up alongside Max Verstappen. He too incurred a penalty, 7th place. Lewis Hamilton in 6th alongside Esteban Ocon. Grand qualifying session for Ocon in P5, with P4 going to George Russell. Charles Leclerc in 3rd. In 2nd place, that will go to Carlos Sainz, last year's world champion, with Sergio Perez, who hasn't won since Greece, starting on pole. 3 lights, 4 lights, and the 5th light. And it is pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Sergio Perez with a big launch. In behind as well, Carlos Sainz also trying to get moving. Then we got George Russell with the smoke billowing at the back of the Silver Arrows, trying to move his way forward. Charles Leclerc coming side by side with Esteban Ocon as they now work their way through that vital first sector. They'll then have a long straight to take very soon. You can now see them making their way down in now. Obviously in front still, it is Sergio Perez. But coming alongside him now is the Spaniard, last year's champion. Carlos Sainz takes the lead. Sainz in front, and Perez, he's got an issue. He can't use his battery. They are investigating, but nevertheless, nightmare for Sergio Perez, who has not won since the Greek Grand Prix at the start of the season. And already now, George Russell moving ahead of him into 2nd place. Drama on that one of 64. Sensational stuff as now Hamilton comes in to now challenge Charles Leclerc. Down the inside now of the Monegas as they head through this first lap. Hamilton now trying to work his way forward, not quite able to get the advantage. Leclerc now holds on to 4th. Well, looking at Max Verstappen's last 5 races, he's back in form. Korea was his first podium in a long, long time, of course, since last season, in fact. Of course, picking up a P10 in Greece, a DNF in India, but since the Korean GP, coming 2nd now as he dives down the inside now of Lewis Hamilton. How often have these two come together? But Lewis saying no, immediately snatches back that P5. As we now ride on board with what looks to be Valtteri Bottas now down the inside of Esteban Ocon, and has managed to overtake the Frenchman. 7th place now for Bottas. And here we have another view, this time Charles Leclerc trying to wise up now on Sergio Perez down the inside again. And now that Red Bull stricken already by that of Carlos Sainz. He's now got Charles Leclerc, another Scuderia Ferrari, now looking to overtake him. He's done it! Now on lap 5 of 64, once again Hamilton currently sandwiched between 2 Red Bulls, but that doesn't stop Verstappen from sending it up the inside, and once again side by side out of the semi-chicane, and remains side by side at this point. Perez just in front, can he cause a disturbance? Hamilton splitting the difference, side by side collision! Oh, they've spun! Verstappen and Hamilton coming together, we saw this previously.
Stop, engine on.
Oh, incredible moment. You've got to be kidding me, he says. Here's the onboard replay. Oh!
That's what you get when you don't leave the space.
Well, a war of words between that and Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, but check this out, a spin heading through after being tapped in the rear. Verstappen taking a very aggressive line as we look at the rear wing view on Sergio Perez's car, but I would say the stewards have a very easy task on this one. Now, once again, we are having the Ferraris trying to pepper, or certainly trying to keep themselves from having their rear wing peppered by that of George Russell in behind as well. Perez trying to launch him down the inside, has already managed to contest against Charles Leclerc. He might get 2 for the price of 1 here. Sergio Perez now side by side with George Russell. We saw Verstappen and Hamilton come together earlier on. Surely not now between Russell and Perez as they make their way down this long straight. They've got another hairpin to take. In comes Charles Leclerc, who's now going hunting for this one. They round the very stiff right-hander, and again the Monegas trying to move his way up. He gets ahead of Sergio Perez. 3rd place now for Charles Leclerc. Ahead still though, George Russell. Leclerc's not done. Down the inside into the next right. They remain wheel to wheel. Nothing separates them. The gap thinner than a fly's eyelash. The Monegas now round this next left. Russell still holds on. Leclerc onto the grass slightly, but he's managed it. He's in 2nd. Again now, George Russell, who has not been left, well, certainly to rest at all by Sergio Perez. These two once again coming together now. We saw this earlier on too as well, folks, as we've now seen them side by side. Perez with a wing in front, with a whole half a car in front. Make that a whole car in front. The Mexican up into the podium places. And now Mick Schumacher trying to track that to Fernando Alonso. He has got to be wary though. Daniel Ricciardo is right behind him as they make their way into the next right, side by side. Now Schumacher going deep as they now work their way in through this next straight. Alonso refusing to give up. They remain still side by side. Nothing separates them. The 2 cars coming together, wheel to wheel. Schumacher onto the grass slightly. Oh, they've come together. They've come together. And where are we? Alex Albon very nearly getting caught up in that.
Yeah, I think I have a puncture or something. I don't know. There's some discussion to the other rear left.
Looks like rear left, we have a puncture.
Well, a puncture, that's what Schumacher is saying. And here we go again, this time between the Aston Martins and the Haas. That's Kevin Magnussen going past Lance Stroll, and that's for 13th place. So Kevin Magnussen now working his way up. The 2 McLarens tying up. Oh, dearie me!
Well, okay, Kev?
No, puncture.
Okay, understood.
Fucking just ramping.
Well, no doubt, a very upset Kevin Magnussen, tagged in the rear by the Canadian Lance Stroll. And here we have another look here, Fernando Alonso's front wing, and now we have got news, 5-second time penalty for Fernando Alonso, causing a collision, no doubt with Mick Schumacher, now coming wheel to wheel with Guan Yu Zhou as well, and Guan Yu Zhou not putting up too much of a fight. Alonso up into 8th place. We have a cluster of cars working their way forward. The McLaren's still scrapping. Norris and Ricciardo still very much there. Norris down the inside of Alex Albon now. The 2 Brits coming together. Of course, Alex Albon representing that of Thailand as well, but now down the outside, Norris still searching. Albon refusing to give up. Guan Yu Zhou in the mix of this too, very much the cork in the bottle, but Norris has got free and broken free as well as he now works his way here on lap 19 down the inside of Guan Yu Zhou. He's done it, but what about Albon? Albon also coming into this fight. It's Norris though, up into 9th. Lance Stroll currently in 13th place. We saw earlier on, of course, he tagged that of Kevin Magnussen. He's now attacking this time Daniel Ricciardo. Wants that 12th place off the Honey Badger. He might have got it, you know. Still currently side by side. Daniel Ricciardo refusing to give up as they ran this very fast-paced left-hander. The Aston Martin team who very much need the points currently sit 8th in the constructors' standings as they now come through. Stroll now up ahead now of Guan Yu Zhou. He's taken both of them. He still though has to try and clear that Alfa Romeo. He has done. 11th place for Lance Stroll. Amazing stuff. Started 17th, now 11th. Now we have George Russell, who's trying to once again tackle Sergio Perez. These two have had a titanic duel here at the Argentinian circuit. As now they come through down the inside, George Russell retakes that P3. Once again, the Red Bull and the Mercedes coming together. And we have news here from Perez. He has no more grip and he can't go much longer. And they're asking him to come in. Well, they said, come in, Checo. He's coming in. The Red Bull in the pit lane. And Valtteri Bottas now exiting the pit lane on medium tyres. He's had a very quiet race, but he's in P4. And a brilliant strategy from Alfa Romeo here at the Argentinian circuit. And a tremendous job by the Finn.
Okay, so make sure you switch everything off without the steering wheel and just clear off the car.
Well, a safety car deployed. Heartbreak for Nicholas Latifi. In come the Ferrari sights now, moving to plan F.
Box. Coming in for the soft on.
George Russell going aggressive with the soft tyre. And here we have the changes being made, this time to Perez's car. On go the soft tyres. And here we go, the restart, pedal to the metal for the second time in this Grand Prix. Sainz and Leclerc get away well. George Russell and Valtteri Bottas coming together as well. Bottas going for the unthinkable for Alfa Romeo. Down the inside now as the Finn moves up into P3. Russell down to fourth. He's going to be at the mercy surely of Sergio Perez, but Russell fighting back. He's up into third now. Retakes his place as now we're also seeing Perez coming into the mix. Remember, he started at the front on pole position. He is now challenging then Valtteri Bottas, the Mexican versus the Finn. Two experienced drivers, but Perez is on top. Incredible scenes here at the Argentinian Grand Prix. Amazing scenes. And now George Russell with Perez all over his rear wing. This is a battle for the podium places. Leclerc in second, Russell in third. But for how much longer? Because here comes Sergio. Sergio on the inside. Perez looking for that third place. He's ahead. He's just typified that of George Russell. Sergio Perez in third and with the fastest lap to boot. A plethora of points with Perez not seen on the podium since the Great Grand Prix in our first race this season. He is now going to challenge Charles Leclerc for second place after the long straight. He's done it. Perez up into second. Incredible racing from the Mexican. Amazing stuff indeed. Well, Sergio Perez going to work on those fresh soft tyres. Remember the crucial visit under the safety car. They boxed for them. Ferrari went for a differing strategy. Oh, Perez in the rear of Carlos Sainz. They touch and Perez now takes the lead. Sainz did so well to hold on to the car, and the stewards race control as saying that the incident is under investigation. Incredible moments at turn 7. Well, here we go. This is the team radio. They're checking the damage. Here's the replay as well, folks. They're saying it's okay. But I can tell you this right now, Sainz won't consider that okay. We have the two Alpines also fighting it out as well. Of course, being that of Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Alonso getting ahead of his teammate for P6. Big points going to Alpine, with both cars featuring in the top 10, which will go a long way to their championship hopes. And now down the inside, here comes Russell, doing the hustle on Charles Leclerc as they come side by side through the next hairpin bend, through the next left. Leclerc doing his utmost to fend off the attack from the Silver Arrows, but once again Russell trying to challenge. They head down now into the next right. As they do so, well, breaking news, folks, no penalty for Perez. And Sainz is not best pleased. They're asking him to put his head down now. Sainz has got to go for it. Sergio Perez, who has had these soft tyres on for quite a considerable number of laps, has now got Sainz right in his rear view mirror. Also coming into the fray, George Russell perhaps, but not enough though. Certainly for Perez to hold on. In comes Sainz now, round the outside now with 3 laps to go. And Sainz sending it through this next left out of the semi-chicane. The Spaniard is now leading the Argentinian Grand Prix. Well, he was last year's champion, yet to claim a win this season, but it will be Carlos Sainz. He wins in Argentina.
Wow, 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 wow. Vamos. Good job.
We did it. Yes! We did it. Yes! Vamos!
We did it, he said, and he did conquer here in Argentina. Carlos Sainz is your winner, our current world champion, and he takes another win. Sergio Perez in second, with George Russell in third. A staggering display up in the top end, to say the least, but Sainz is your victor. Charles Leclerc finished in fourth, with Valtteri Bottas in fifth after a great drive. Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon cap off a 6th and 7th for Alpine. Tsunoda in 8th, Lance Stroll in 9th. Lando Norris claiming that 10th place, fastest lap, going to that of Fernando Alonso as well. Daniel Ricciardo finished in 11th place, with Sebastian Vettel in 12th. Alex Albon in 13th, with Guan Yu Zhou in 14th place. Pierre Gasly 15th. Kevin Magnussen finished in 16th, and last of the running cars with Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen all retiring from the race. It was, of course, such an uber display from Carlos Sainz. And here's the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc holds on to the lead. Ferrari will be pleased. Currently, both of their drivers up in the top 2, with Max Verstappen after that DNF. That will not help his championship hopes. Sergio Perez moves up to 4th, as well as Alonso, after claiming some big points for Alpine today in 5th. That, of course, will help their standings display. If you would please subscribe as well to the Mitsos channel, that would mean a lot, folks. I would like to thank you all for joining us here at Argentina. I've been George Morgan. We'll see you again soon.